This video is about wiring a HEI conversion into a 60s Chevy pickup that came with points. I've re-recorded the audio because there's just too much wind noise for the original audio at this point to be usable. This wire right here is going to have to be replaced because it's a resistor wire. Points are supposed to get 9.5 volts through this resistor, and electronic ignition is supposed to get 12 volts for the HEI. And so if I try to run it with 9.5 volts, then it won't run very well. The original wiring of the 60s points distributor was different than this. This dark blue was for the old pressure light, and there was a wire from the firewall to the solenoid run terminal, and then the yellow from the solenoid run terminal to the coil. This is the early 70s routing for a points distributor in a Chevy, where the yellow resistor wire goes straight to this plug in the firewall. If you're unsure about whether a wire is a resistor wire or not, then just take the ohmmeter setting in a multimeter and measure resistance at both ends. So this pink wire at the firewall connector gets 12 volts while running, and it goes to the ignition switch. Originally it connected to the run terminal of the solenoid and the gauges on the instrument cluster. The current wiring has it connected to the yellow resistor wire that goes to the coil. The problem is that, or a new problem that came up is that the resistor wire, this yellow resistor wire, has too much resistance. It's only allowing about 5 volts to the coil, and it's supposed to be 9.5 volts. It could have been the wrong resistance from the start when a prior owner put it together, or it could have increased the resistance due to its age. Whatever the case, whether I converted to HEI or stuck with points, I would have to replace that wire for it to run properly. This is the original resistor wire connector that goes through the firewall. Now, when I try to put a 12 gauge wire onto it, that's the stock HEI size, you can see there's a big difference, and it won't do much good but even trying to make this work, because this will be a major bottleneck and might even run hot. It's a bad idea to try to run this, it won't run right. So I took this, used needle nose pliers, pulled it out of the connector, and I can't find another spade connector of the right length. I'll just plug this into the connector separately and then slide it in and plug it into the connector. I've taped off the ends of the old pressure sending unit and the original temperature idiot light, since I don't use either of those anymore. And then I'll tape these off together and put these in a wire loom like I've done elsewhere. Okay, now I'm done wiring and setting up the HEI. I have the 12 gauge wire going straight into the firewall in the harness or wire loom. I've had engine fires in the past on other vehicles, and so I'm careful about letting things rub and short out and spark, and so it should be ready to start up.